What's going on, everybody? Good late morning, and the free agency primer is coming to a close here. We've got just a little bit more ground to cover, and really, today we're going to be doing the last position. This is the final real position. I might make a video or two on special team stuff just for fun, but realistically, we're at the end of the line here with free agency. Strong safety, which really could be better described as just saying any safety that I didn't talk about in the free safety portion of the primer. So if you were wondering where certain safeties were, I just kind of divided them up based on where they have played their most recent snaps with box snaps versus deep snaps. Roughly. I didn't want to split it perfectly. I didn't try to. That was a little too ambitious. And it also doesn't really matter because Mike McDonald, we know what he wants. He wants safeties that can play safety. He doesn't want a dedicated strong or a dedicated free. He just wants two guys that can do some of both. So as we look through these guys, keep that distinction in mind, while also keeping in mind that the distinction is of limited value to us. We want versatile safeties. So looking at the Seahawks right now, they're good at strong safety, or that safety spot, whatever you want to call it. You got Julian Love, whose contract is going to run 2 more years before it becomes easy to get out from. And then you have Rayshon Jenkins. Now, Rayshon is probably going to be a cap casualty. Hard for me to believe that he won't be. So that leaves you with like Reid, I guess. And Reid has been injured so much in his career already, you can't count on him to be there when you need him to be. So realistically, when we finish with our salary cap casualty cuts, we will probably need a backup strong safety. But because of the Julian Love contract, we're pretty committed to rolling forward with at least him. It's not a Kobe Bryant situation where it's easy to get away from him after this year or even this offseason if you really wanted to. Now, I don't want to get off of Kobe Bryant right now, and I certainly don't want to get off of Julian Love right now. But the point I'm trying to make here is that there's not going to be a lot of flexibility to bring in a high-end player here. Now, we do have three starting caliber safeties. Really, one of them is like a star level, and then two of them are maybe high-end starters or mid-level starters. We're going to group them together for the purpose of this video, but the three players don't really have that much in common in terms of their quality and value. So understand that. So we're just grouping them together for a video. Justin Reid of the Kansas City Chiefs, two-time Super Bowl champion, originally a Houston Texan, but he's had a very profitable 3 years in Kansas City. He's played in every game but two, been a productive, effective safety for them over that period, was also good in Houston, so he's had a good career, and he's only 28, so he's got good football in front of him. He should have at least one more big contract in him. PFF was very complimentary of him last year, 76.9, 20th in the league for safeties on almost 1,000 snaps. So pretty much everything you could be looking for here. Now, the previous year, his coverage grade got him beat up a little bit, 57.7, not even top 120 on about 1,000 snaps. So not all great, but this is a very good player. And the important part is he had a very good year in the final year of his contract. So you know he's going to get paid. And he's on a team where he plays in the Super Bowl pretty much every year. So you're going to notice him. You're going to see him in ways that you wouldn't see other players that might be just as good. So Justin Reid, going to get some money this offseason. He's a good player. And if the Seahawks needed a high-end safety, I'd be open to it. I don't think this is the way I would go, but I don't hate the idea. Market value says 3 years, 51.2 million. That's 17.1 million a season. Seems about right to me. Maybe it's a little ambitious when you consider the fact that would be a little more than Xavier McKinney got. And it's not that far away from what Winfield Jr. got, but it is a year later, so I don't think anything can be ruled out here. He is a player that you're probably going to have to pay a little bit of a tax on because he is a Chief. And the Chiefs are a team that is in the Super Bowl pretty much every year right now. So those players have an aura about them that makes people assume that they're maybe a little better than they are. And Justin Reid's also playing on a defense stacked with elite teammates with a very good defensive coordinator. So that also makes him probably look a little better than he is. But he's still a very good player. And while maybe I'd be more in the realm of like 3 years 45 than 3 years 51, it's certainly not beyond the pale to suggest this. Okay, so that's Justin Reid. That's the one big gun at this positional group this year. Justin Reid, strong safety. He's getting paid like a star, or at the very least, a very high-end starter. These next two guys are more like mid-level starters. Admittedly, they're not in the same group. I just put them in the same group for the purposes of a video. But they're still going to be good. They're still going to get good money. They're still going to be starting. They're still going to have high expectations. So let's take a look at these two. Julian Blackmon, who I always call Justin Blackmon because of the old Oklahoma State receiver, going to turn 27 this offseason. Third-round pick of the Colts back in 2020. He's put together a pretty good career so far. Missed a little bit of time from injury, but not a ton. 7 interceptions over the last 2 seasons combined, so he's taken the ball away a good amount. He's not really done anything over the top remarkable. He's never been a Pro Bowler, never really been an All-Pro, never been one of the best players at his position, but he's been a quality starter for some years now, and I imagine he is probably the next safety to get a bag after Reid in this category, if you consider him to be a strong safety, which I typically do. Well graded by PFF last year, top 50 safety, 69.3, on a Colts defense that doesn't really give him a lot to work with. Almost 1,100 snaps. And the year before that, it was good too. Top 50 grade, 68.3 on almost 1,000 snaps. So he's put in some good work here, so he's deserving of his big payday. Again, it's one of those things where I have to wonder if Blackmon was on the Chiefs these last 3 years and Reid was on the Colts, would they just switch places and Reid be the guy getting less money and Blackmon the guy getting the monster contract? I don't know. But Spotrac thinks he's going to get a lot less than Reid. 3 years, $24 million, $8 million a year. Makes sense to me. You're getting him during his prime. You're getting a good starting caliber player. That is significantly less than what a guy like Julian Love got. I think this guy is right now in a position similar to Julian Love when he got that extension. Maybe Love had done a little bit more the previous year. He had made the Pro Bowl and all, but not too different. You look at some other players that are kind of in the range of what Julian Blackmon projects to get. They've got guys like Geno Stone, Malik Hooker, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So this range would make sense to me. He's probably about to start playing his best football as well because of the age factor. So sounds about right. If my team needed a safety, a starting caliber safety, I would do this. In the current situation the Seahawks find themselves in, I would not. But I think that in theory, it's a perfectly fine idea. One more guy for this video, Jeremy Chinn of the Commanders. Dan Quinn making some decent things happen with him last year. 17-game starter, did fairly well for himself, over 115 tackles. Spent the first 4 years of his career in Carolina and was actually quite good there as well. He almost won Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2020. He was a starter in that secondary, various roles across 3 seasons after that. And then 2024, he went to Washington. And look, Washington's defense was not the reason why they were good last year. Washington's defense was not the reason why they made the NFC title game, but he was a 17-game starter for a decent, passable defense. And it's going to get him a little bit of money this offseason. PFF liked him too. They put him in the top 50 for safeties out of 170, so that's meaningful, and on 1,000 snaps, so he played pretty good when he needed to. Year before that in Carolina, it's not good, 57.7, but it's only 280 snaps, so understand that it's a smaller sample size, and what he did in 2024 means way, 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 way more. So I'm not too down on that. Now, you can't go crazy here. This is a guy who's missed a decent amount of time over the last few years. He missed several games in 2023 and 2022. But Jeremy Chinn, according to Spotrac, is in line for about 3 years, 18.3 million, 6.1 million a year. Pretty feasible. Seems about right to me. I could see that happening. I think that coming into a season where he's going to turn, let me double check with PFR. Yeah, he's about to turn 27. Yeah, I'd probably do that. I don't think I need to in my situation. I don't need a third safety making 6 million a year, but he's pretty good, and this would make a decent amount of sense to me. It's in line with other similar safeties that have gotten paid moderate amounts of money in recent years. And that's about it for the strong safeties of the starter caliber, be it high end or mid end. We're going to do low end in a couple of hours here, so see you guys soon. Let me know what you think. If anything, I understand this is not the most compelling position, but it is somebody out there's going to need to consider this. So see you guys later. Go Hawks. That's my take on these safeties. We got more coming soon.